tell you something that happened to me literally just a week ago. But before I share that, you need to know the whole story, because if you don't know where I've been, you won't really understand where I'm going with this. So I used to suffer with depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and eating disorders. And here's the really shocking part. The very thing that people go to for health, the gym, it became my idol. And I didn't train because I loved myself. I trained because I hated me. I was obsessed with vanity, pride, insecurities, and I would skip family events just to avoid ruining my diet or missing a workout. It wasn't fitness, it was bondage. After I had my first son, I sank into the deepest depression of my life. And there were nights my husband didn't know if I would even come home. I'd take long drives hearing all these lies in my head, you're not worth it, just end it already. And then one day, in the middle of all the darkness, the song Reckless Love came on in my car, and that was the moment God wrecked me, literally, in the best way possible. I repented and I pulled back. I walked back to Jesus. I turned it over. Now let's go back even further into history. I grew up as a pastor's kid. My dad struggled with severe mental torment, what doctors called bipolar, but we all know that it's demonic, and it's just demonic strongholds. And tragically, when I was 19, my dad took his own life, and that moment twisted my view on the whole church and God. And I blame the church and I blame God, and that's why I ran away. But God wasn't done with me yet. So let's fast forward to last week. Again, I decided to check out an old gym I hadn't been to in years. That's the very one that I actually used to work at. And that's the one that I used to go to when I was running away from God. Kind of weird, right? So the gym had all the equipment that I missed, and for a moment, I started to enjoy it. I missed my old life. I missed the old me just for a moment. But then out of nowhere, someone offered me a job there, which I thought was kind of strange. I wasn't even looking for a job. I just wanted to work out and have fun. And suddenly, all these old thoughts came back, rushing in. The old me, the temptation, the obsession, the pride, the vanity. I even sent them my resume because I thought, oh, maybe this is from God, but I knew better. It's crazy to think that I even sent my resume in, because for a minute I was kind of thinking about the idea, But here's the thing, I'm a busy woman. I already own a business. I run a fitness coaching business, and I'm in Bible college, and I'm walking in my call to ministry, what God called me to do. I don't need a job. This wasn't about work. It was about vanity, and the devil was dangling keys in front of my face, trying to distract me. Sometimes the devil puts shiny objects in front of us to pull us off course, to distract us from what we were actually supposed to do. See, I kept wrestling with this, and I was like, okay, Lord, is this from you, or is this from Satan? Am I being tempted? Please show me, Lord. And I wasn't really getting answers when I was there at the gym. I was just having a good time, but then I was also entertaining the idea of being the old me, and that's not good. I started slipping back. It was about the enemy just dangling all this distraction in front of me, trying to get me to replace my calling with something shiny and familiar, right? Comfort sometimes isn't good. Sometimes that's Satan. But I don't need to go back to that old place. I don't need to be the old me. That old me is dead and gone. Then God spoke to me clearly. And he said, I didn't call you there. And if you go there, I will not bless it. Yikes. So that hit me really hard. And that wasn't just a job offer. It was a test. Would I fall for the distraction or stay the path? Would I stay on the path, the one that the Lord called me to? Here's another funny part of this story. So, ironically, when I was wrestling with all the old me that I used to be, I sat in a Celebrate Recovery class because I needed this for my school credits because, like I said, I'm in Bible school right now. So, to get these hours that I need for college, I attended this meeting, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. I thought it was a great way to learn. I didn't think it was really for me because it's for, if you know anything about Celebrate Recovery, it's for alcoholics, drug addicts, anyone that's had some sort of addiction of any sort, right? And I was like, oh, that's not for me. At first I thought, yeah, it's not really for me. I thought this is just for people who struggle with drugs and alcohol. But God humbled me in that very moment, and he showed me I was still dealing with addictive behaviors as well. Not drugs, not alcohol, but obsession, pride, and body dysmorphia. Yep, that was me. And in that room, I shared my history. I said, hi, I'm Amanda, and I used to be addicted to the gym. And I was like, Lord, that sounds so stupid. I don't want to admit that. It sounded silly, but it was real. And when I shared it, I felt free, finally free. So here's the point. When you fully surrender to God, the enemy will try to distract you with the old you. Yes, it happened even to me. And it's crazy. It can happen to anybody. He'll dangle dead things in front of you, hoping that you'll take a bite. But peace is the proof. And if there's no peace, it's not from God. I don't know what you're wrestling with, insecurities, addictions, hangups, but I do know this one thing. God will meet you there, and his peace will guide you out of it. If this video blessed you today, share this with a friend and follow me for more.